Hey guys, we are here today in Dragon's Dogma 2, going over how to get all 6 possible portable port crystals for you to use with your fairy stones. And if we have time at the end, going over how to say portable port crystal 5 times fast. Port crystals are incredibly helpful in Dragon's Dogma 2, allowing you to fast travel to particular points in the world if you have a fairy stone. There are not very many of these naturally placed out in the world, but you can get portable versions that allow you to place teleport points or fast travel points wherever you see fit. So it can be important to grab these as early as you can in the game to cut down on your travel time as much as possible. The first one we're going to acquire comes through the main storyline and comes in fairly early. Since it does come in fairly early, we're not going to go through much detail of how to get it, or spoil any of the quest if you're just now starting the game, but I will say once you get to Vernworth and you meet Captain Brant, you'll start working together with him and have multiple quests from him. At a certain point after working with him, he will recommend that you head to Batal and give you a port crystal at this time. The second possible port crystal for you to get is from doing the Trial of Archery quests from the elves. I'm also not going to go through the details of this port crystal in this video because I have already done a video on Trial of Archery, which I will link in the description, and you can jump over there and see how to finish this quest line and get that port crystal. But now that we've got those 2 simple ones out of the way, there are 4 other port crystals you can get in the game, and we will actually be going through these 4 in a little bit more detail. The third port crystal is from the forested Griffin's Nest out in the misty marshes northwest of Vernworth. Once you've crossed the river, over into this area of the map, there are 2 methods to get to the forested Griffin's Nest. Method number 1 is to take this small pathway heading to the northwest into the misty marshes, which will end once you get into the misty marshes, and it will be very difficult to see once you're in here. As the path ends, you'll come across some ruined building on your left and see a brazier on the road. You can light or extinguish these braziers as you come across them in order to track where you've been in the misty marshes and keep your bearings about you. Once you get to this first brazier, you're going to look slightly to your left and see another brazier in the distance, which ideally will be visible through the mist even if it's not lit, but if you're having difficulty seeing it or not seeing it at all through the mist, you're simply going to head off towards the west, keeping yourself on the left side of the wooden stake right next to the brazier you're at, and then pass on the right side of a second stake as you head off in the western direction, and at this point you should see the brazier right in front of you. From the second brazier, you're going to turn right to the northwest, cross over a log in the trail, and as you start heading uphill on the trail, you should come across a third brazier. You're going to run up equal with this third brazier and then turn left, looking towards the southwest between 2 trees, where you will find a small ledge that you can climb up. Right on top of this ledge, you will discover a riftstone. From this riftstone, you're going to turn to the south and very quickly hit the side of the mountain. Put this mountain on your left side and trek through the mists as you scale up some ledges and through some woods, and eventually come to an area where you have the mountain on your left side, and there is a ruined building on your right. From here, you're going to turn directly south and ascend upon a bunch of stone ledges, where you will come out into a clearing not covered by mist, and into a griffin's nest. Once you fell the griffin, you will come across a port crystal and a bunch of other loot inside of its nest. There are no mapped roads or pathways inside the misty marshes, but this right here is the rough path that you should be traveling while inside the marshes in order to get to the griffin's nest. The second way to get into the forested Griffin's Nest is by taking a trail going north off of the main road towards the misty marshes, and at this bend right here, turning directly north and descending up some stone ledges until you find yourself standing above the forested Griffin's Nest, where you can maneuver and scale your way down, or if you have enough hit points and you live for the thrill, you can jump onto the griffin to break your fall. The fourth portable port crystal that we can acquire is from the Bay Wayside Shrine, which can be found to the southwest of Vernworth or slightly northeast of Batal. There are 2 ways to get to the Bay Wayside Shrine, the first one being from the Vernworth side. As soon as you cross the bridge into this area here, you will turn onto a path heading to the south into the Gurko Cavern. Once you work your way through the Gurko Cavern and emerge on the other side, you will simply follow the pathway all the way to a small village with a campfire at it. Here you will turn east and head onto a grassy plateau with a pit in the center of it. If you're reckless, you can jump down into this pit if you think you'll survive, but on the northeast side of this plateau, you can descend down a small pathway that will lead inside the cave, leading you into the Bay Wayside Shrine, where you will find the Dragon Forged, who will allow you to buy a port crystal from him for 20 Worm's Life crystals. The second way to get to the Bay Wayside Shrine is from Batal itself. You'll leave the city from the most northern exit to the northeast of the residential ward, which will lead you down a tunnel to the Batal shore. On the most northeastern part of this shore, you will find a pathway heading to the north that will take you across some bridges and directly into the Bay Wayside Shrine. The last 2 port crystals that you can acquire both involve the Sphinx, so if you're not looking to have any spoilers to do with the Sphinx, their location, or any of the riddles, then I recommend leaving this video now before the Jeopardy noises end. You'll find the Sphinx at the mountain shrine to the northeast of the ancient battleground. The ancient battleground is found to the far west of Vernworth or slightly northeast of the checkpoint rest town. The best way to get here is from the checkpoint rest town, leaving the city going to the north on the main road, and turning on a small trail slightly to the west that descends down some stone ledges into a valley. You'll follow this trail all the way to the ancient battleground, where you will ascend the north side of the battleground up into a ruined keep. You will continue working your way north through these ruins until you come across the World's End Cavern. Once you emerge on the opposite end of the World's End Cavern, you will come to another clearing and opening, where you will continue heading northeast until you come across the Shrine Corridor. And as you emerge out of the other end of the Shrine Corridor, you will turn to your right or to the south and see a stone staircase that ascends all the way up to the mountain shrine where the Sphinx is waiting. You can take on one or all of the Sphinx's riddles at the same time, but the first one that we're here for is the Riddle of Madness. The Riddle of Madness will task you with bringing your most beloved to the Sphinx. This can be done by either bringing an NPC with maximum affinity to the Sphinx, or bringing your main pawn onto the pedestal in front of her. Your main pawn is obviously the easiest system to do this, so you'll scoop him up, place him on the pedestal, and interact and talk to the Sphinx before your main pawn annoyingly wanders off the pedestal. You'll speak to them about the Riddle of Madness again, and declare your main pawn as your most beloved. Once you've completed the Riddle of Madness here, she will allow you to open a chest which contains a Portcrystal. Now the second possible Portcrystal we can get from the Sphinx is from the Riddle of Conviction. The Riddle of Conviction tasks you with bringing your most prized possession to the Sphinx. Now from what I've seen, any item that you bring to the Sphinx will complete the Riddle of Conviction, and it does not have any stipulations on it. You'll simply have to offer the item up to the Sphinx, with the belief that you will not be getting this item back. Once you give the item to the Sphinx, however, due to your generosity, she gives the item back and allows you to open a nether chest, which holds a duplicate of said item. This means that if you give her a Portcrystal, she will give you the Portcrystal back, and duplicate it in the chest and give you a second Portcrystal, bringing us to a total of 6 Portcrystals in the game, allowing us to have a large number of fast travel systems as long as we have the fairy stones to keep up with it. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, got you the information you were looking for, and allows you to fast travel to your heart's delight. Let me know down in the comments where you like to place all of your portable Portcrystals to see if anyone's got some unique or interesting locations they place theirs at that could be helpful to Ether Arisen. I, for one, have a Portcrystal at the Bay Wayside Shrine, the Sacred Arbor, the Volcanic Island Camp, Bak Batal. I carry one in my inventory in case I come across an interesting place I want to quickly return to after a sleep at the inn, and I have yet to decide where to place my last crystal at. But with so many fast travel options at my disposal, we'll see how quick it is before I run out of fairy stones. Thanks for watching, I will see you next time. Portable Portcrystal, 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 Portable Portcrystal. There we go. I got it.